Okay, it is Tuesday, May 12th, 2020. We'll call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Born and unborn.
Okay. Minutes and reports received and filed.
I have April 2020 collector fees filed and the sheriff fees filed, and April 2020 treasurer's reconciliation report filed.
Okay. Commissioner Committee Liaison Reports on coming meetings and events.
We've got our CARE Act federal funding meeting this afternoon at 2. We got a Home Builders Association board meeting at 4. Planning Commission meeting at 5:15. Solid Waste Management District Board meeting tomorrow at 1. That's about it till next week. Things are starting to pick up again.
So, I have a slate board meeting tomorrow at 11:30 at Prison Brews. And then I have on here Road and Bridge Advisory meeting, but I think that's been canceled.
Need to pick a date for that, but yeah, that's next week. First, I think is what it was gonna be.
I don't think I have a whole, and then I have on my schedule or calendar, Heartland Board meeting next week at 7:30 in the morning on the 19th, so I think that's a go, so not sure where that's gonna be, try to accommodate, but that's all I got.
Okay, well, I got my policy group call that the sheriff initiates at 1:30 and then commission at 2. I've got the Central Workforce Development meeting tomorrow at 2 on my calendar, but I can't picture us meeting, but then I haven't received anything canceling it. Thursday morning, we're gonna meet with Governor Parson at 9:30 and give him a bottle of our bicentennial bourbon and a coin. And we've got a bicentennial meeting at 3. Sunday, my article's in the News Tribune. And this is after our meeting, but May 20th, we're gonna do a kickoff at Loman's Landing at 1 PM for the bicentennial. So anybody wants to come.
Can you put that on the calendar?
Yeah, well, I've been waiting to get permission from DNR, and I can't get anything, so I think we're just gonna do it.
What if we just show up?
Yeah, worst that can happen is Capitol Police will shoot us or arrest us or something. But, okay.
Stand right behind you, Sam.
Commission comments? None. Bids and contracts. Mr. Eric, contract award and signing for 2020 asphalt overlay program.
Okay, we opened bids about a week and a half ago on this project, and Jefferson Asphalt is the low bidder, and we recommend award to them in the amount of $780,933. Is there any questions?
I don't have any questions.
Just trying to pull it up here.
Bids were considerably less than estimated, which is a good thing. Last year was a little odd year in pricing. This year came down quite a bit, so.
Oil's down.
Yep.
What do we have, 2 bids?
2 bids. Magruder Paving was the second bid.
I move that we award and sign the contract with Jefferson Asphalt.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contract award and signing for 2020 chip seal program.
Okay, same thing, a week and a half ago, we opened bids on the chip seal as well, and Vance Brothers is the low bidder, and we recommend award to them in the amount of $268,162.74. And we've done work with Vance in the past, I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago. Since then, they've been Missouri Petroleum every year, and then Vance came in and was low this year, so good contractor, and have good experience with them in the past. Bid was quite a bit, or not quite a bit, just a tad bit higher than what we had estimated, and typically we kind of go off of what last year's price was, and so it just fluctuated a little bit higher this year on the chip seal.
Good.
Yeah.
We award and sign the chip seal contract with Vance Brothers.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
How's that for quick?
Yeah.
Tell you what, that Murfreesboro Road is stirred up for us.
Good thing I gotta go to the eye doctor, I'll have to miss out.
Okay.
Oh, you already brought it up now. It's still here.
Run. Okay. Discussion and approval of EMS copier.
Morning.
This is a copy that Brian was able to get from state bid, and then actually even a lower price than what the state bid was. So it goes through a cooperative through them. So this is a color copier, so we can print our protocols, things like that. They're changing so frequently. And with the things that we're having to do, we need to get something to where we're not trying to outsource these color copies and the quantities that we're doing right now. Our protocols are all based on color codes and stuff, so would ask for your approval.
Yeah, we had talked about this, it's already been approved, we
Mhm.
just had to get one purchased and the price, right? That's all the
Mhm.
stuff you emailed to us, and Brian got us a good price on it, so.
I move that we approve the purchase of the copier.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, now we're moving right along. Approval and purchase of assessor copier machine and print management agreement.
So, this is we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but we went through and took a look at the existing offering that they had and renegotiated and came up with a different configuration that was more suitable to, you know, as far as not having to sign a lease and things like that. It's also a lot less on the dollar figure, so I would ask that you approve the purchase of the copier from GFI off of State Big, and then also the print management contract for $136 a month.
Questions?
No, we got the emails on that as well. I
Okay.
think the assessor and Brian worked well together on that.
Move that we approve and sign the cash sale agreement and the copier maintenance agreement with GFI.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any unfinished business? New business, accounts payable review.
I'd ask for accounts payable pending review.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Approval and signing of annual grant through Missouri Energy Response Commission.
Emergency.
Emergency, what'd I say?
Energy.
Oh. Aye.
That's all right.
Hey.
You were close.
Service Commission.
Okay.
And that is the annual grant application for money, $5,000 for the LEPC, Local Emergency Planning Committee, through the Missouri Emergency Response Commission. It's annual. And it just basically supports the program.
Questions?
No.
Move that we approve and sign the annual grant through Missouri Emergency Response Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, signing of surplus title.
This is vehicle from the sheriff's department originated from the prosecutor's department. If you see that on the front, but the sheriff's department wants to sell this for surplus.
So they took it back, or,
Prosecutor gave it to them years ago,
no?
and just the title has their name on it for some reason.
I move that we sign the surplus title.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Health Department to discuss summer food program inspections.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
This is our annual agreement to be able to do the sanitation inspections at the summer feeding sites and get reimbursed for them.
Is this with the city, or?
No, it is with the Missouri Department of Health and Senior
I see.
Services.
Okay. So we did the inspections for them, and they were reimburse us?
Correct. This is not part of our aid to local public health, core public health contract. It's separate, so we get paid per inspection.
So,
Usually there's only 1 or 2 feeding sites, but there might be more this summer with everything going on, so.
okay.
So that agreement had 10 pages, right?
Yeah, a lot of it is just the
So,
standard language.
That's at page 1 of 1,170, and I was like, oh,
I know, I think that they must have printed them all together or something. I thought the same thing when I started to print it, I was like, wait,
Did you read them all,
wait.
Jeff?
No, I started thumbing through it, I was like, I need some pictures in here. And then I got done, and there was only like 11 pages, I was like, well, this isn't too bad. So,
Yeah,
it was still interesting reading,
oh, I bet,
very much so.
yeah.
You must have been really bored.
I'm stuck at
Insomnia,
home a lot.
yeah.
Taking all my
Oh,
golf tournaments
baloney.
away and
You stuck at
ball
home?
tournaments. Started building stuff. Got some crosses I'm making too, so I need to hang one up here. Okay, I'm good with it. I was wondering if that was a misprint or what.
It must, yeah, either that or they print them all together, cause, yeah, ours is not very many pages. But it says 11/7.
Good, Sam.
I'm good.
Move that we approve and sign the agreement with DHSS for the summer food program inspections.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I think that's all we've got. The other is our 2 PM and 2:30.
I had her at the ID.
Jeff, I think you had a couple things you wanted to.
Are we on to other business?
Yeah, we're on to other business.
Okay, so you brought up Murphy's Ford already. And
Yeah.
we did have some calls on that, but we haven't made any decisions to close it indefinitely or anything, just to clarify, right? And we're looking at what it's gonna cost to basically fix it and make it safe, and that was the one of them that I got, the hill reconstruction cost and different options. I mean, it's upwards of 269,000 on that. So, I guess they can still get down to the river, there's still access to use the river.
Right, we've got the concrete blocks set back a ways from the river, but it's still, the road's still open. It's just that short section that goes down the bluff that we've got closed.
So they cannot use that,
They can't, yeah, they can't get up and down the bluff, no.
but can they get around the barricades on the one side to be able to get to the river and access it?
It's within walking distance. We can look at moving them closer if that's what we'd like to do. I know there's a lot of people, we've been contacted also about, access.
Yeah, our intent was not to block off access.
No.
just to keep them from getting on that hill where it.
Right.
and Chris was out there the other day, I haven't been out there in a long time. And it wasn't real safe back then either, but he said it's pretty shady, so.
And that's the problem, this past winter, we've had issues in the past with some washouts coming down the bluff, that we've been able to repair. This last winter, they were considerably larger, so that's why we're bringing it, to be able to fix it. We're gonna look, like I said, in that email to you on the cost estimate. It's a considerable amount of money, and we'd just like to have your input before we go forward and do anything with it. If we do any improvements, any construction improvements to try and widen it, I think we're opening ourselves up for liability if we don't install guardrail on it. It doesn't have anything right now. The only thing that's protecting vehicles is trees growing up around there. I said, we're getting the phone calls too, so.
Yeah, I just mainly wanted to clarify that we weren't blocking it off.
No.
Using the
Yeah,
river.
what I'll have Larry Bishop do is take a look and see if we can move those blocks closer to the river on the north side. The south side we can't. I mean, it's right there at the top of the hill where it turns and goes
Right.
down the bluff. But the north side, we could look at possibly moving it closer, to the river to where they could, you know, be closer walking.
Yeah, that's what everybody, it's not so much, that they fish down there, they put canoes in, they swim down there. So I think it's all recreational.
It's
And-
pretty area right in there.
Oh, it is. We used to go down there way back when.
What y'all do?
We drank beer and shot our 22s and swam.
I was
But,
gonna let you say you were boating.
yeah, it was all health related.
A lot of teenagers now.
Statute of limitations.
We were fighting COVID-19 and we didn't even know that's what we were fighting.
All right, before we get too far down the rabbit hole
So-
on that one.
I think we could even take the barricades off the north side and put them, just block off the hill going up the hill, cause it's really, I mean, the ford's fine, the area across the ford is fine, it's just the hill that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the issue. If we don't want them getting on the hill. We've had vehicles go off that in the past. It's been a number of years now. I'd say probably, I'm not sure if Eric was there when the last, so it's been within the last, 10, 11 years. We had a young man go off of there. Luckily, no one was hurt, so we could take, like I said, we could have Larry just block off the bluff side and put it on the other side, so.
And then, I don't know, I mean, it is pretty shady, but, I don't know. I mean, it's a goat path is basically what it is. It was never a county road, probably. It's something that we picked up over time. I mean, it's probably just a farmer access that they crossed the river there and went up the bluff.
Yeah, well, it's one of these deals, it's bad enough trying to go up with a small vehicle, a pickup or a car, but, I don't know if I'm brave enough to try and climb into a grader or something, try and go down that thing to maintain it, so it's narrow. And I don't wanna see anybody get hurt, especially our employees, so.
Well, right now, we just don't have the money
No,
to,
not for that.
no, so, but let's give it to conservation, let them make it a park.
It's an idea.
It is pretty, I mean, it really is, it's a nice area.
Okay, that's all I wanna do is just a little clarification about it, that we're just closing it down. So. Anything else about that?
Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna do on the north side there. I mean, it's pretty rough from the barricades to the ford, but, I mean, if that's always a bad deal, I mean, I don't know why we just couldn't dig it out and pour a little more concrete there or something.
On the
North side,
north side there
between the ford and the barricades, looks like it gets pretty muddy in there.
when the creek gets up, and the problem is, Chris, is with the barricades up through the winter, when the creek's got up, we haven't been in there cleaning that up.
Right.
So we can get it back in decent shape, to, get some rock in there and get it bladed off. Every time the creek comes up, it settles in there with mud, just like it does at Meadows Ford, Bond Ford,
Right.
all the others. And we just have to get down there and get it, cleaned off, so.
Well, that's why I was saying, maybe we just look at pouring another little section. I mean, river backs up way up in there, but
But
If
even with
it's always
concrete, yeah, even with concrete, we've gotta get in there and clean it off, because it'll end up with 6 to 12 inches of mud over it, depending on the storm event that came through, so. Otherwise, we get people stuck right there that they know they're on concrete, but it's still an issue, so. I'll get with Larry Bishop and we'll get the barricades moved closer, or put them on the other side of the ford there where they still have the access.
yep, be good.
Okay,
All right,
Okay.
thank you all.
thanks.
All right, so done with that one, so another fun one. We had emails going back. I think you said in one of the bills, there was 8 million coming back to the counties for reimbursement. So I was just curious where we were at as far as, do we have everything submitted? Are we up to date? Used to be, we were maybe 2 months out as far as submitting requests for our reimbursement for prisoner per diem. So are we still up to date on that? Cause if that money comes out, I have a feeling they're gonna take care of whoever's in line next.
The last month that I have billing for is July of 2019.
So we're usually like 2 months behind and now more like 12 months behind or 11. Okay, so what are we waiting on that? Cause we need to get that stuff put together and submitted.
I don't know, it's the circuit clerk that bills it, and then she gets information from the sheriff.
Okay.
How much are we in arrearages?
What do you mean?
Well, how much do they owe us? How much do they owe Cole County?
Well, we've only billed through July, and they're only, I think, 3 months behind. I don't know the exact dollar amount, I don't have it in front of me. So they're only 3 months behind where we're at, so July, I think May is the last one. So, but we haven't billed anything since July.
And there's not any other stuff outstanding that they owe us for? From previous years?
Well, we had been up to date on a lot of those, maybe, like I said, a couple months out, the last that I understood. And so they take care of whoever's in line when you get your paperwork. And I guess some of the MAC meetings and stuff, that's what they'll tell you is a lot of people are owed a lot of money because they were late getting their information in or it's incomplete. So we were getting our complete information and getting reimbursed for it. So now it sounds like we're behind on that. And I think that's a pretty good chunk of money, so. I guess, do we need to talk to, is the sheriff still up here? Is he? Are we waiting on information from him, or is it from the clerk, or what do we need to?
You want me to see if Donnell can come over?
I'd just
How
shoot
often
her
do we
an email.
submit that? Monthly?
It should be monthly.
So, I mean, shouldn't be more than 30 days behind then, really. I mean, really. Get the information from the sheriff and you send it over.
I think just shoot him an email, there's no sense having him come over to
No.
see where we're at on that, what the holdup is, whose information we need, or who's not pushing the send button. I don't know, I just saw the email about the 8 million, so. I
Yeah.
thought, well, that's a good chance for us to make up a chunk of change if we're owed, so. And I don't think that touches near what the state owes across the counties in Missouri, so.
I agree.
Shoot an email.
Want me to shoot an email to Donnell and
Yeah.
the sheriff? And
Yeah.
I'll copy you guys.
Yeah, 'cause
and find out where we're at.
that's,
Yeah, just, I mean, they're probably listening, I'm sure they are stuck to the radio listening to us right now, so. Interesting meeting. But all we need to know is what we need to do. There's more money coming down the line.
yeah, if we're 10
Get our
months,
share.
if we've got 10 months we haven't billed,
That's all I had, so.
Any new, stuff out of the EOC or that you guys care to share?
no, we're actually down to one meeting a week. And then also with the policy group, we're down to one call a week because, you know, it's, I got a couple calls yesterday and I was glad that they clarified it, but I guess yesterday morning, there were all kinds of cars lined up at Cap Region's mobile testing. And so I had a call this morning from a gentleman who, and they're like, "You're not giving us the right numbers." And I said, "Yeah, we are, but I guess they're starting up elective surgeries again, and in order to do that, you have to have the COVID-19 test. So they're anybody that sees a lot of traffic at the two testing stations. It's just for, we don't have a big spike or anything like that. It's people that are going to have surgery, so.
And they have to have it done by noon, like 48 hours
Yeah.
before their surgery, so that's why in the mornings there's gonna be a line.
Yeah, so yeah, that was, I,
Yeah.
people observe that, so that's, yeah, which is, so, but anyway, it's nothing, it's not a big spike or anything. I don't know, can you think of anything else out of EOC?
So do they have to stay home after they go have their test, or?
That's what Jennifer said, that someone told her that they had to have their test and they were supposed to isolate until their surgery.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
And do they ask them that question when they come in?
I hope so. I asked Jennifer and Chesney yesterday to work on some guidance for, just the county offices. I'll send it to you guys to send out, but just about, like gloves and masks. I think there's a lot of confusion as to, when, if, or, you know,
Every time you move that fast.
how COVID can be spread, you know, inanimate objects and things like that. So we're gonna send some education out to county employees, but I'll send it to you.
When are we gonna get antibodies testing? Do we know? I mean,
Yeah, we've been asking, and we have that on our wish list, of course. I think the problem is getting accurate testing and getting it available from the suppliers, so that's definitely, we would like antibody testing and antigen testing. There's two different, and we'd like maybe consider doing the testing too, depending on if the hospitals want to stop, so.
okay.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, though.
I don't have anything else. Anything else?
Melody, can we order face masks to Melody? Does she have the ability to order?
Probably get them from EMS.
Do you want it for your staff? Are they not able to social distance?
Not 6 feet.
Are they screened every day?
I did purchase a thermometer, but I don't know that they would do that every we'll start doing that.
We'll send some stuff out about masks. I think there's that question from other departments as well.
So the masks basically protect yourself, or do they protect others from you, or?
Most of the masks just keep your germs in, but, you know, there's some concerns about, especially if people have underlying health conditions, about wearing the masks all day, and the reduced oxygen and increased CO2, and it makes you touch your face more, and it keeps bacteria that you're rebreathing. So, I think there's a lot to talk about with having your people wear masks every day if they're not in direct contact with the public, and if the public has masks on. So Chesney and Jenna are working on some guidance for that. I think it's a more complicated issue than just everyone should wear masks.
We, at the store, of course, I use shoestrings, believe it or not, but you just put it up when a customer comes in,
But are you touching
and then
it
you
with-
take it off.
Right, but are you touching it with your hands when you, there's,
I'm touching the ear.
And then you touch them when you get their money?
the risk of getting it from an inanimate object is very, very low.
Shoestring doesn't cover much though.
I shoot.
Anyway,
No, I mean, just, because you don't
So
want to
there's-
wear it all.
There's an argument
You don't want to wear
be
it all
said that a
day.
mask does more harm than good.
But some people look better with masks on.
maybe, I think
Yeah,
it's
you do.
situation dependent. If you're in a hospital and you're working with, you know, people that are intubated and sick, and, you know, there's situations where the masks are definitely required,
I think each situation just almost has to be evaluated on its own. So, like you said, there's a bunch of different situations where, yeah, you definitely wanna have something, and they're probably changing masks quite often
They
in
are.
those situations.
Well, and they have, it's a sterile environment, we're not necessarily, so you're at Walmart with your gloves and your mask on, and you're touching your face and you're touching money, and you're not doing any good.
Yeah, we wash our
It's better to
cloth
wash
mask
your
every
hands.
day, so.
They're not magic gloves.
So I did finally find on the MAC, but this was back in 2019, the third quarter, we were owed $299,000 in payments. But that's not quite a year old. And that would probably cover almost to the last time we sent in a request. So that's a big chunk of change. All right.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Maybe we stand in recess till 2 o'clock.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
9:30.
Quick.
So is Logan's Landing, is that, you're doing something on?
Yes,